There is a particular kind of suffering only a man understands. Not physical pain, not heartbreak, not betrayal, but the slow, silent erosion of respect from the woman he loves. You notice it before she ever says a word. Her tone shifts, her patience thins, her warmth cools, and suddenly your presence feels like a burden instead of a man she once admired. She sighs when you speak, her eyes wander when you talk. Everything you say feels like a noise she's already tired of hearing, and you sit there trying to solve a problem she stopped caring about. You replay the relationship in your mind. I gave her love, I gave her time, I gave her loyalty. Why is it never enough? Let me give you the truth that most men never hear in time. Love cannot survive after respect has died, and a woman's love is built on respect, always, without exception. You cannot negotiate respect. You cannot beg for it. You cannot demand it. But you can conduct yourself in a way that makes disrespect impossible to sustain. Today, I'm going to break down 7 advanced, masculine psychological strategies to handle a woman who doesn't respect you. Not through anger, not through manipulation, but through presence, boundaries, and masculine self-command. Stay with me until the end, because point 7 is the brutal truth that changes men forever. 1. Say no, and don't justify it. This is where most men first lose respect, without even realizing it. They cannot say no. Men are conditioned to believe that being agreeable keeps the peace, that being the accommodating boyfriend makes the relationship survive. But here's the psychological truth. The man who cannot say no eventually loses the woman he's trying to please, because a man who cannot say no is not a partner. He becomes a servant. He adjusts his schedule. He sacrifices his priorities. He says yes to every request, even when he's drained, tired, or overwhelmed. He calls it love, but she sees it for what it is, a lack of backbone. A woman may enjoy convenience, but she does not respect a man who betrays himself to make her comfortable. Your no is not an act of rebellion, it's a declaration of identity when you say, that doesn't work for me. I already have plans. I'm not available today. Without apologizing, without explaining, without shrinking, you're sending one powerful message. My time has structure, my life has meaning. I am not rearranging my world for someone who treats me as optional. Women test boundaries not because they're manipulative, but because they need to feel the strength of a man's internal structure. Your refusal, delivered calmly, becomes the anchor of the relationship. And here's the twist. When you say no with clarity, your yes starts to mean something again. 2. Build a life that moves in a direction bigger than her. Here's a truth that almost no man hears growing up. A woman does not fall in love with you. She falls in love with the destination you are moving toward. A man without direction becomes a man without respect. When you wake up drifting, uncertain, passive, reactive, you force the woman to step into masculine energy. And when she does that, she will lead, control, test, fill the vacuum you left. Not because she wants to, because she has to. Instinct takes over. A woman cannot relax into femininity if the man has no mission. You don't need to be rich. You don't need to be famous. You don't need to be a CEO. But you must be a man in motion. A man who is building, advancing, sharpening himself. A man whose goals don't shrink to fit someone else's comfort. When your life has direction, your presence changes, your decisions change, your standards change, and a respect for you rises instinctively, because purpose creates gravity, and gravity is masculine power. 3. Set boundaries and enforce them through distance, not debate. Men fail at boundaries for one simple reason. They talk instead of act. A boundary is not a speech. A boundary is a limit with a consequence. The moment she insults you, mocks you, belittles you, or crosses a line and you say nothing, you just taught her that your respect is negotiable. You don't need to yell. You don't need to explain. You don't need to lecture. A simple, calm line is enough. I don't allow anyone to speak to me that way. Then you withdraw. You stop engaging. you give no emotional reaction. You remove your presence, your attention, your energy. This does two things. 1. It forces her to confront the reality of her behaviour. 2. It shows that your boundaries are enforced in silence, not desperation. Women don't respect rules. They respect consequences. If she adjusts, good. If she doubles down, better, because she just exposed who she truly is. Boundaries are not there to control her. They are there to protect you. 4. Stop romanticizing her potential. Judge her by her patterns. Here's a harsh truth. The version of her you fell in love with might not be the version that exists now. Men stay in toxic relationships because they hold on to memories. They cling to the good side she sometimes shows. They believe the early version of her will come back. But respect is revealed during conflict, and disrespect is revealed during comfort. If she constantly belittles you, competes with you, humiliates you, attacks your masculinity, stonewalls you, weaponizes your vulnerabilities, treats you like an accessory instead of a man, that is who she is when she feels you won't leave. And here's the masculine truth. If her respect disappears when she feels secure, you are never respected. You are tolerated. Stop trying to fix a woman who benefits from your self-betrayal. You cannot build a king's life with someone who treats you like a pawn. C5. Master emotional self-command. Become unfazable. Every woman tests a man's emotional stability, not intentionally, not maliciously, instinctively. When she disrespects you, she's asking one question. Is this man in control of himself, or do I control him? If you explode, yell, argue, overreact, you just proved your emotions are hers to manipulate. A man who cannot control himself cannot lead himself. And a man who cannot lead himself cannot lead a relationship. Masculine power is not aggression. Masculine power is calm under pressure. The man who can look a chaotic situation in the eye and stay grounded, still, centered. That is the man a woman respects. Your calmness is not passivity. It is authority. Your silence is not weakness. It is dominance. Your lack of reaction is not fear. It is mastery. The moment you stop letting her provoke emotion out of you, you reclaim every ounce of power you once gave away. 6. Level up your life until losing you cost her more than staying with you. Weak men chase validation. Strong men chase evolution. When a woman disrespects you, the most powerful response is not confrontation. It is transformation. Not to win her back, not to make her regret it, but to remember who you were before you started shrinking. Hit the gym. Build your wealth. Expand your skills. Cut dead energy out of your life. Improve your environment. Sharpen your mind. Upgrade your wardrobe. Enhance your frame, posture, and aura. Make your presence heavier. Make your absence louder. Women feel status shifts instinctively. When they sense your value rising, their tone changes. But here's the secret. You are not leveling up for her. You are leveling up because you forgot your own potential while trying to keep her happy. Nothing hurts a disrespectful woman more than realizing the man she took for granted became the man she always hoped for without her. And nothing empowers a man more than realizing he did not lose her. She lost access to him. 7. Walk away, not in anger, but in self-respect. This is the final step, the hardest step, the step that separates men who stay broken from men who rise. You must be willing to walk away from a woman you still love if she consistently disrespects you. Attachment is not love. Desperation is not loyalty. Staying is not strength. Sometimes walking away is not abandonment. It is self-protection. You're not saying, I don't care about you. You're saying, I care about my dignity more than your chaos. And once you walk away with discipline, not slamming doors, not raging, not begging, you begin the process of rebuilding the man you were meant to become. You rediscover peace. You rediscover clarity. You rediscover standards. And you realize something profound. You were never afraid of losing her. You were afraid of being alone with yourself. Because you forgot how powerful you are when you stand on your own. When you rebuild, you stop chasing women. You stop negotiating. Your worth, You stop tolerating disrespect. Your presence becomes enough. Your silence becomes enough. Your energy becomes enough. And here's the final truth. A woman can only respect a man who respects himself. If you carry yourself like a man with standards, she will either rise to meet them or leave your life. Either outcome is a win. Final message. Respect is not something you demand. It is something you embody. Stop arguing. Stop explaining. Stop chasing. Stop convincing. Start becoming.